You're listening to WCAT Radio, your home for authentic Catholic programming.
Hello, Jesus Seekers. This is Romuald Simeone. The book is the Gospel of John. We're in chapter 19, verses 5 to 12. Horrible Black Night chapter of Good Friday. Cannot talk too joyfully of this one. Dark night has descended on the world. The continuing trial of Pilate after Jesus is sent back by Herod Antipas with the mockery trial and Jesus being declared a fool. You know that the first verses of 19, how Jesus was sent to be scourged. Pilate's trick of trying to get Jesus released by Herod did not work. He kept proclaiming that Jesus was innocent. But in order to assuage the mob and the Caiaphas and the coalition against Jesus, the Sanhedrin, he decided to have Jesus scourged. An illegal act, completely illegal. Jesus had not been condemned yet. He was declared innocent. So why the scourging? The Roman law, the lictor, the rods, and the axe, and called the fasces, the hatchet in the middle of the rods, symbolized Roman justice. That when a prisoner was condemned, he could be beaten, could be turned into an inhuman, beat with rods, and then beheaded. But as vicious as that sounded, by this time in the Roman Empire, the ultimate execution was not beheading. That was reserved. It was too easy. It was too easy. Being beaten and beheaded was too easy. To be beaten to to the moment of your death, and then to be beheaded was too easy. The crime of sedition, the crime of attacking the state, time for the crime of defying the emperor and the Roman Senate. A more vicious execution was now in place. Since the time of Spartacus, the slave, and the rebellion of the slaves, crucifixion. We won't describe it right now, but when you were going to be crucified, you had 40 lashes of whipping to dehumanize you and to subject you. It even at times included the tearing out of your tongue so you could not curse your prosecutors. Well, we won't go into all those details, but Pilate ordered a scourging to calm down the people. An evil means to a good end. It was illegal. He was not yet condemned. So now, you can see how judges and human justice, the law, even the laws that they put in place are twisted. Pilate was using it to soften the people against Jesus. And as he said, "Behold the man." He's not a man anymore. He's a worm. He's completely broken. Turned into a non-human. You wouldn't treat an animal that way. Even the animals that are ferocious. We don't beat them to death and torture them before we kill them. No, he wasn't going to kill Jesus. He says, "Behold a man." And he goes to the crowd and to the Sanhedrin and Caiaphas and to all of them in the judgment place. And he says, "Let him go home and die." You know what he do? With all that treatment, he would bleed to death. Didn't even look like man anymore. Face all swollen, head crowned with thorns, bleeding, with a robe on him, mocking him as a king. And even when he had to take it off, he would rip all of his wounds open again and bleed in great pain. But Pilate was pretending now to be merciful. Let him go home and die. Go home and be carried home. What was his home? He had no home in Jerusalem. Go have him carried off by his family, by his mother. Wasn't that enough punishment to give to Jesus? Innocent as he was. Oh, he had insulted the elders. He had argued and embarrassed them. Because in the arguments, he dealt with truth. And they dealt with interpretations. They twisted the law. And Jesus set it straight. Oh, he caused the people to disrespect the elders. It's not right to disrespect the elders who act like dictators, animals, those who say they're doing the will of God and do their own will, and their own will is destructive and hatred and murdering. So that's what we have in verse 5. Behold a man. Doesn't affect them. If people are against you, they're against you all the way. Let them go home and die. No. They wanted to reverse his conviction, his not conviction, his release of Jesus. His announcing that he was innocent. There was nothing there for him to condemn him to death at all. that he had even sent him to his own king, Herod, and Herod just sent him back because he's a fool. There's nothing to deal with it. Herod was deceptive, but at least he sent him back. But speaking for the crowd and for the coalition, Caiaphas, the demon now in the saddle, riding the back of the dragon, speaking for Satan. No! Crucifixion! Crucify him! He blasphemed. Why? I can't crucify him. He has committed no crime. Pilate says. No sedition. The charge has not been proven at all. He has no followers, no militant followers to overthrow the government. He has no one to set up on a throne, a political throne. He's a worm, a slave. You see, we can do with him whatever we want. The flick of a finger, we could execute him here on the spot. No! Don't execute him on the spot. If we wanted to do that, we could have stoned him to death at our trial. We want crucifixion, elimination, forgetting him, destroying his corpse, making him disappear. Not spiritual disappearance like he did before when he escaped us, but disappearance of his very body. Nothing left of him. What is the charge? He blasphemed. He called himself the Son of God. That's the charge. The Son of God. First time Herod hears this. Who in the world is the Son of God? You know, from pagan teaching and mythology that Zeus or Jupiter had children, sons of God, persons equal to God, persons who would take over if that God was not honored. Now, Pilate is worried. In verse 7, after Pilate says to them, I have no charge on him. If you want to crucify him, I give you permission. Crucify him yourselves. You have soldiers. There's the place of Golgotha. Take him there and crucify him. No. If we crucify him, we're breaking the Roman law. You cannot give us such a permission. But what law can I follow? We have a law. The law of Moses. The law of the Ten Commandments. He said he was the Son of God. The main teaching of our religion is that there is only one God, Yahweh. He says God is our Father and He's the Son. That makes two gods. Then He has also said, they didn't know this, the Holy Spirit, three gods. the Trinity. Yes, Jesus was teaching the Trinity. But he didn't say the Trinity was three gods. It was one God, all equal. A mystery, something we cannot figure out, we cannot comprehend, because God is beyond human knowledge. A finite mind cannot know an infinite thought, an infinite truth. Makes logical sense, but it's incomprehensible. Yes, it is comprehensible. That's why it's called a miracle. We cannot understand it, but it is true. He proved it with his miracle. He did the works of God. He created out of nothing. So, verse 7 then. Pilate has a real problem. If he is the Son of God, what in the world does this mean? What is he saying when I said that he was a king? And he said that he was a king, but not of this world, of a different world, of an eternal world, of a mysterious world, of the world of infinity, of the world of eternality. Our world was simply included in it because it was created by the infinite. So, Pilate takes him aside, verse 8 and 9, and asks Jesus straight, "Where are you from?" In other words, who appointed you the Son of God? What are you saying that you're the Son of God? Jesus did not answer. Why didn't he answer? If he answered him, we don't understand it. How could a pagan understand it? How could a pagan understand what is an infinite truth that we call a mystery? Pilate didn't even understand prophetism. He would not have understood straight answer. So Jesus is saying to him, the Father sent the Father. Pilate didn't understand that one. Miracles proved his origin. Miracles. Pilate understand miracles? For a pagan, what is the word miracle? An impossibility. An impossibility. Creation is an impossibility because it's a miracle. You cannot understand it. We don't fully understand it. We only believe it because God said it. We believe it on faith. We can give some kind of a logical explanation of it, but complete understanding is not there. That we came from nothing, and that we're going to live eternally. If it's from nothing, it should end up in nothing. But then that we're going to live eternally. All these are mysteries. We believe it on faith because Jesus said it. We believe he's the Son of God. Faith is not an impossibility. To look at so-called things that they claim to be scientific, that's on faith too. Only ridiculous faith. Faith that's laughable. I have to believe in the theory of evolution. And I have to believe in school that the missing link is not missing. I have to laugh at that. It's called a missing link, but it's not missing. Oh, we found a bone here. Oh, the bone is here, but is it the link of man to inferior species? Is it the link? There's no evidence that it is. I won't argue the point. Just give it to your reason, to your comprehension. And how many missing links have they found so far? Every generation finds another missing link. So, if this missing link is not missing, what about the previous ones? What about the future ones? You haven't found all the missing links yet. Because they're not links. The only logical thing, there is no evidence. It's all on faith and human faith. I'd rather have faith in God, who my comprehension, my induction, wisdom, intelligence, not just deduction but induction, tells me that if there's limited knowledge, could there be unlimited knowledge? And that's what's being claimed. Unlimited. So, I can't receive any answer. What answer is there? A discussion, an argument? Never end. It never has ended. 2,000 years. So Pilate cuts it off. In verse 11, he says, let's not go any arguments. He tells Jesus, there you are, prisoner. Here I am the judge. I have power to release you or to crucify you. Pretty clear. Now Jesus does answer and shows him how ridiculous his presentation is. You have no power over me. Power, you don't have any power. Power is given to you from above. Could mean two things. Human above, the emperor gave you power. He could, in an instant, and that's what you're afraid of, he's going to come and take you out of power and make you nothing. In fact, in actual history, Pilate eventually commits suicide. He was taken out. Also, you have no power to do injustice. The power that you have, that you claim, is power of Pax Romana, of being a just judge. And you already declared that you were a just judge when you declared me innocent. You can't reverse it. I haven't committed a crime since you said that, and now it's the same day. Am I guilty or am I innocent? If I'm guilty, you have power to execute me. But you yourself are saying that I am innocent. And you're being manipulated out of fear. Caiaphas is indicating that if you don't give him what he wants, he's going to remove you and accuse you before the emperor. And and if the peace is destroyed, Pax Romana is gone, You'll have the answer for it. Right now, you don't have as much power as those people outside your gate. The people that are listening to you. They're not listening to you. You are actually under their control, and you have placed yourself under their control. If you are a just judge, simply release me. Pilate still tries to release Jesus. Goes back to the crowd, back to Caiaphas, and says he's innocent. And Caiaphas puts the last nail in his coffin. If you release him, he goes on to Pilate's fear. If you release him, you are no friend of Caesar. We will accuse you. He says he's the king of the Jews. They'll investigate you. They say you cannot release a person who even says he's the king of the Jews, and it's a crime of sedition. We trapped you. He himself has self-accused himself. He says he's the king of the Jews. You're interpreting one way. Let's see how the emperor interprets it. You're no friend of Caesar. He's not our king. And they say this horrible thing. We have no king but Caesar. Crucify this man. Crucify this Jesus. The crowd all acclaims. Would you want me to crucify your king? We have no king but Caesar. You realize what they're saying? According to God's law, there is no king but God. All the others are only delegates. All the others he put in were delegates. They had no power above God. Solomon and Saul and David, none of them had power over God. Not even the prophets would say that they are above God. Obey me. No, obey me as I teach you about God. You're obeying God, not being the prophet. And they said, no, we have no king but Caesar. They're denying their own scriptures. They're denying the Ten Commandments. Here, they're saying something that even sounds worse than Adam. Adam went into rebellion. They're saying the rebellion of Satan himself. I am the God. There is no God. Caesar is our God. We give allegiance to him. And the truth is, there is no God but God. There is no king but God. And if any human being in any law of any land opposes the law of God, it is not law. Pilate says, I will not be guilty of his blood. He washes his hands, still proclaiming Jesus' innocence. They say, his blood be upon us and upon our children. The very thing that the law said when you stone someone. If you witness against that person, if you are murdering them, if it's a lie, if there's no crime. Isn't that as bad as killing babies? You are murdering a person who has committed no crime. You're trying to snuff them out. Can any such person ever call himself Christian? Doing an act of kindness. And Jesus says to Pilate, the one who delivered me to you has the greater sin. He didn't say Pilate had no sin, has the greater sin. So Jesus is condemned. Crucify him. Pilate knows in reality they are crucifying him. But he is a collaborator. He can't do it without his permission. He can't do it except in the Roman way. You cannot tolerate murder and be innocent. You cannot wash your hands of it and be innocent. You cannot let someone else do it and be innocent. And of murder and darkness in this Black Friday, who is left unguilty? Brothers and sisters, we stand by Jesus Christ. You cannot say you stand on the sidelines. You cannot say you're not against him. As Jesus himself said, who's not for me is against me. If you do not declare me before men, I cannot declare you before God. And I say, myself, and those who listen, declare yourself for Jesus. There's no other way. It's the way of love, not of hatred of the enemy, not of hatred, but we pray for them. May God bless you, and pray for me.
Hello, God's beloved. I'm Annabelle Mosley, author, professor of theology, and host of Then Sings My Soul and Destination Sainthood on WCAT Radio. I invite you to listen in and find inspiration along this sacred journey we're traveling together to make our lives a masterpiece and, with God's grace, become saints. Join me, Annabelle Mosley, for Then Sings My Soul and Destination Sainthood on WCAT Radio. God bless you. Remember, you're never alone. God is always with you.
To a production of WCAT Radio, please join us in our mission of evangelization. And don't forget, love lifts up when knowledge takes flight.